Hello all, welcome to the fifth chapter of building a web application. In this chapter, we will learn the basics of Bootstrap framework and will be building the index.html file. As we have learned the basics of web application, styling and formatting, let's get started with building the homepage. We will be building the homepage, same as what we have in the demo project we see right now. Let's go to our project and rename our existing index.html file with a new name. Just to keep it as backup, I am renaming it as index_role.html. Next, I will add a new HTML file with name as index.html, which will be our base HTML file. As mentioned in the last session, we will be using Bootstrap framework for our project, which is a very popular CSS framework, and it will help with building the website quicker. To get started with Bootstrap, we will go to getbootstrap.com and visit the documentation. Here, we have the basic sample code to get started. First one is very basic, so we will skip that. From the introduction section, we will copy the second content. We will go back to our project, paste it in our index.html file, and save it. Now, we need to make a small change in views.py file. We will update the render line back to index.html, as it got updated by py-charm when we renamed the old file. Now let's run our application and go to our URL. We see the Hello World message. Bootstrap requires some CSS files and JavaScripts to be added in our HTML. Let's copy the scripts given here and add it to the body section of our HTML, just below the other scripts. Next, we need to get jQuery. jQuery is a web library which has several built-in functions for JavaScript. We will be using Ajax function provided by jQuery for calling web services. To get jQuery, we will go to developers.google.com and find jQuery from the libraries section. Here we will find multiple versions, and we can copy the snippet we want from the website and paste it in our HTML file. Let me paste the jQuery link here. Now, we have all the basic libraries and scripts. These libraries and scripts will get loaded automatically when we access this page. In the same way, you can add any other scripts and CSS files as well. Next, we will change the title of this HTML page to Library Information Management System. Now, it's time to work on the main body content of the page. Let's go to the Library Information Management site and see what next. As you can see in the top of the page, we need to build the top bar to show the header as City Library with a logo. For this, we will be adding a web element called Navbar, which is a class provided by Bootstrap. We will go to Bootstrap website, and in the left side, we will find Navbar under Components section. Navbar will create a bar where we can place some content. You can read more about Navbar and learn all the different options and styling in the Bootstrap website. A navbar can contain tabs, links, menus, search bars, etc. It can be used to show the brand or company name as well. If we want to include images, such as logos, or links to other pages, we can do that too. But we don't need any menus or tiles in this top bar. So, we will copy this content and place it below the scripts in body tag. We will remove this header text. Then, we will paste the Navbar code copied from Bootstrap website. Let's change the content of this span tag to City Library, which will be the header of this page. Now, let's go to our web page, and we can see the Navbar with header, City Library displayed in it. But, the header is in the left side and we want to place it in the center of the top bar. So now, let's update our HTML to center align the content in the title bar. HTML offers different ways to center align the content. Bootstrap comes with few built-in classes, which do the center alignment better. In the container fluid div, we will add couple of additional classes given by Bootstrap. Justify content center and align item center to center align the content of the div. You can read more on these classes and other alignment options in the Bootstrap documentation. Let's go to our web page and see how it looks. Now the header is center aligned, as expected. Next, we need to change the background color of the header bar. For this, we will add the style attribute to the div and set the background color property to the color of our choice. If we go to our library information management application, the color we have is blue. To get the color of our desired blue, we will go to the HTML color picker website and get the color code we want. Then, we will set this color code in the background color property. Let's go to our web page and see how it looks. Now the background has changed to blue, which is good. But, the font color is black and we could not see it clearly. Let's make the text white. We will add a class, TextLight, to the span tag. This will change the text to white. Let's go to our web page and see how it looks. Now, the header is more readable and clear. Great, let's go to our next step, which is setting the logo. I have designed this logo using Keynote app. You can design logos using any presentation app. Once you design your logo for the website, we need to copy it to the project folder and keep it in a specific location. Logo image is a static file, so we need to place the image file under the static folder inside our app. I am creating a new folder with name as static under our app. And will paste couple of images, one a small logo and a larger one. The smaller one looks like this, which will be loaded in the header bar. Let me paste the larger one as well, which we'll use in the home page. And it will have a white background, whereas the smaller one has a blue background. In HTML, images can be shown using the img tag. We just need to load the image inside the span tag. Now, to load this image in our web page, I will add the img tag with src attribute set to the image path. As the image is placed in static files path, we will set this to open and close parenthesis, %, followed by a space, the file name, limbs_logo.png, within single quotes, and a closing %sign. Then we can set the height for this image, which will automatically adjust the width as well. I will set the height as 45. But HTML doesn't know what static means. For HTML to recognize this static path, we will add load static in the top of the HTML within parentheses. This will enable HTML to recognize the static keyword. Let's go to our web page and see how it looks. Surprisingly, the image did not load. Any guesses why? Our app did not know where the static files are located. So, though HTML recognized static keyword, it didn't know the path. We did not set couple of things in the settings.py file. As mentioned in the earlier chapter, installed apps should have reference to all the apps added to the project. We will add limbs_app, which is the app name. followed by the apps module, which is a py file present in our app. Finally, the class name limbs app config as present in the apps.py file. Now, Django will recognize our app, and it knows where the static files are located. If we go to our web page, we will be able to see the image loaded this time. Now the header bar is ready, and it is very similar to the library information management web page. If we want to add some space between the logo and the word city library, we can add it in the HTML. We will add the style attribute to the img tag and set the margin right property as 10 pixels. Now if we go to our web page and refresh it, we will see the additional space, and the header looks good now. Next, if we go to the Library Information Management website, we have a tab bar below the header, where we have multiple tabs. To get the similar tabs in our web page, we will be using nav tabs, provided by the Bootstrap. Nav tabs offer tabbed views. As you can see in the documentation, we have different options to align our tabs. Nav tabs can show links with different views. You can show the active and disabled links with different visuals. And in our Library Information Management website, we are using the underline option for the tabs. If we want to choose underline option, we can take this sample content and paste it in our HTML inside the body tag. But, just for a difference, we will give a tab view. We will copy the tab content and we will paste it below the nav tag in our HTML file. But this is just a sample HTML and doesn't have the links that we want to show in our application. Next, we can change the labels as we have in the Library Information Management website. First one is home. Next we have readers, followed by my bag, and then returns. In our web page, all the tabs are enabled. So, we will remove the disabled keyword. Let's refresh the web page to see the changes. Great! We have the tabs displayed now. But the tabs are left aligned. We want to position them in the center of the web page. For this, first we have to put this nav tab inside a container. There are different containers provided by Bootstrap for different use cases. We can go to the Containers section in Bootstrap documentation to read more about them. Out of the 3 container options, we will be using Container Fluid. Let's copy this class name, container-fluid, and paste it in our div tags class attribute. Then, we need to center align all the contents of this container. We have many alignment options in Bootstrap. Let's look at them by searching with keyword alignment. We will click on the horizontal alignment to get the class name for aligning the contents horizontally in our webpage. As we want to center align the content, we will copy Justify Content Center from here and paste it along with the Container Fluid class in the div tag. Next, we will define the vertical alignment. The details for vertical alignment is also present in this same web page. So, I will simply search for it. We have the vertical alignment details here. To center align the contents vertically, we will copy the align items center and paste it in the same div tag. Let's add the closing div tag. Now we have the container with the alignment done. There are several other alignment options available for containers, and you can learn about them in the Bootstrap website. Let's refresh the web page to see the changes. Now the tabs are center aligned in the web page. At present, the first tab is active. But when we click on the rest of the tabs, we don't see them changing to active. To make this happen, we need to add some specific code in the HTML. HTML will show a tab as active if it has the active attribute present in its tag. For example, if we set the active keyword in Readers tab element, then the Readers tab will be shown as the active tab in the UI. We cannot hard-code this in the HTML for our desired tags. So to make this work dynamically, we will be adding some if-else conditions to check the current tab and set it to active state. Such as, within parentheses and %, if current_tab equals within single quotes home, followed by a closing %. Inside the if block, we will set the active attribute, so that, when the current_tab variable has value as home, this tag will become active in web page. Next, we will add else and end if statements in the same format. In the else block, we can copy and paste home tab line, but without the active class specified. The logic here is, if the user clicks on home tab, the variable current_tab will have value as home. Since we are checking if current tab equals home, and setting the active attribute to the home tab element, the web page will show home tab as active. To pass the current_tab value as home, we will go to the views.py file. In the home function, we will update the return statement where we're passing the context. We will add the key current_tab with value as home. Next, we need to add the URL in the href attribute of the web element. For home tab, we will update the URL as home. We will do the same for all the other tabs as well, by copy-pasting the code we just added for home. Let's update the Readers tab with the conditions. And don't forget to change home to Readers. In the tab element display text, the current_tab value if condition, and the URL. Let's do the same for the next one. But we are missing one tab, which is Books. So let's do the same for Books tab. We will update the tab label, if condition, and href URL, inside if and else blocks. Finally, I have done the same for my bag and returns tabs by copy and pasting the same content. If I go to our web page, I see all the tabs. But when I click on Readers or Books tab, I will get page not found error. But we don't see this error for home tab. This is because we have URL mapping for home tab, but we don't have it for other tabs. This we will do it shortly. So now, the tabs are similar to our library information management website. In our library information management website, if you go to different tabs, bottom portion below the tabs is different, but the top portion including the header and navigation tabs remain the same. So, we will keep the index.html as a common HTML with header and navigation tabs. And we will keep the content of each tab in a separate file. We can load the tab level content dynamically by writing a block in the index.html below the navigation tabs. We will name that block as main_content. Let's add an end block without any content inside it. Because, in the tab-specific HTML files, we will describe the main_content block. Now, we can create a new HTML file and name it as home.html. In this HTML file, we will put the contents for our main_content block for home tab. To link this HTML file with index.html, in the top of the file, we will write extends index.html within parentheses. Next, let's add load static statement as well, similar to index.html. Then, I will remove all this default content and will define the main_content block, so that this will get loaded with index.html when this HTML page is rendered. Within the main content block, I will simply write I am in home page. Next, I will update the home function in views.py file to render home.html file. As home.html file is extending index.html file, all the tabs and the top portion will be included in this page automatically. If I go to our page, refresh it or click on the Home tab, I will see I am in home page message. This shows that the home.html's contents got loaded correctly in the index.html's main_content block. Next, for Readers tab, I will copy the home.html file and name it as readers.html, and in this file I will simply write I am in Readers page. In the views.py file, I will copy the home function and write a new function for readers. And in this function, I will be rendering readers.html, and in the context, I'm setting current_tab as readers. Finally, I'm adding the URL mapping as well for the readers function. If we go to the browser, refresh the web page and click on the Readers tab, we see the message I am in Readers page. If I switch between the tabs, I see the message also changes. So now, we are able to see the different tabs loaded, and we are able to see the tabs being active or inactive. Also, we are able to see the appropriate HTML files getting loaded for the current tab. In the next session, we will add the code for the Hello Readers section in Home tab. This section is built using a class called Jumbotron. This is a class provided by Bootstrap. We can learn more about this in the Bootstrap website. See you in the next session. Thanks for watching. To continue learning with us, like, share and subscribe to our channel.